Bali, Indonesia.
Hot in Bali. It's like 33 degrees Celsius, like 90 something degrees Fahrenheit.
Now, how long have you got? All right, well, hey everybody, what's going on? It's Troy Rawlings here. Welcome to another exciting episode of Meet the. And we're already talking, so I want to jump right into it. We got the branding diva, entrepreneurial strategist, book author, mom, wife, and the president CEO of the Unstoppable Branding Agency, Miss Rhonda Renee Swan, all the way from Bali, Indonesia. How are you, Rhonda?
How are you? So great. Good to have you. Selamat pagi from Bali. That means good morning.
Oh my God. And she was telling me it's 90 degrees in Bali right now?
Yeah, about 90 degrees. If I could open up my drapes, you could see the ocean. It's a nice, beautiful breeze, but quite warm.
Now,
summer.
I want to get into how you got started, but how long have you guys been in Bali?
Well, we've been traveling for 12 years, but we've now been in Bali. It'll be 6 years this July. We've been, or 5 years, sorry.
5 years, July. And how do you like it?
I mean, it's amazing. You know, the culture here in Bali is so different than anywhere in the world. I mean, it's such a beautiful, calm environment. The Indonesia itself is many islands. Bali is one of the biggest islands, and it's a Hindu culture. So it's really just mellow and beautiful human beings, very tropical, a lot of oceans. Of course, the unstoppable surfer loves it because he gets to surf every day. But it's just a great quality of life. And I'll tell you, it's a really amazing place to be quarantined. I mean, you know, we're in a very natural space. So our normal self-distancing is pretty easy for us.
Right. So, all right, let's dive into this. How did you? First off, where are you originally from? Where are you originally from? Let's start there.
In Detroit.
Detroit, Motown.
Yes. I used to go downtown in downtown Detroit and watch all the live concerts when I was growing up until things started to shift a bit. But man, my early teens, we were downtown Detroit. My dad was a Detroit fireman. So that's where my jam was.
And what's your background? How did you transition younger on Detroit, but what did you always want to do? What was your background initially? Did you know you wanted to go into like business marketing, business coaching?
Well, like I was kind of sold the great life, which was, come on, like get a good job, like go to college, right? Get your degree. You know, that was my family, my middle class, right? Blue collar. My dad was a fireman, and my mom stayed at home. So I, of course, you know, my whole vision was I wanted to run a huge corporation. So I actually played softball. I was an athlete growing up. And I played softball, women's softball for the national team. We also got an invitation to the Olympics, but I was too old by the time it was time to move softball into the U.S. Olympics. But I have 5 gold medals, right? So I was like going through this, you know, journey. And then I took my athleticism and got a full ride scholarship. And so I played softball, and then I just knew that I wanted to be in to run a huge corporation. So I was actually I was moved from Michigan to California, San Diego, to work for Philip Morris Corporation and then GlaxoSmithKline Corporation. So I ran the whole Western division of GlaxoSmithKline sales team, sales division. I was, you know, in running, you know, $500,000 a quarter in advertising budgets and campaigns and working with clients. And then I, you know, just had a big transition in my life. After 8 years, I thought that's all I wanted to do. And then, oh my goodness, all of a sudden I decided I wanted to have a family. And here I was at 33. I was 33. And I went, wait a minute. If I want to have a family, how am I actually going to ever raise a child if I'm working 10, 12 hours a day? And, you know, life shifted a lot. There was an experience that I had where I witnessed a woman put a baby in daycare at 6 weeks old. And my boss was like, don't you ever come late for a meeting? And I sat there like, wait a minute, hold on. All my vision and dreams that I was supposed to be this big corporate woman just dropped right then and there. I'm like, wait a minute, am I do this? So transition happened. I became an entrepreneur 15 years ago.
And how old is your daughter now?
My daughter, Hanalei, is 12, although she's one day away from being 13 tomorrow.
Happy birthday, wherever you are.
I know, right? Like, she's so pumped. But she's like, Mom, I'll never forget my 13th birthday. I'm in quarantine.
Hey, some people have celebrated quarantine. I've been a part of more birthday celebrations while in quarantine than I ever would be if not. I was at somebody's birthday party in their kitchen. He was cussing up a storm. He had a Muppet. He was like a comedian. I was like, I didn't even know you did ventriloquism. He's like, I'm not. I'm just outside the screen. It was crazy. But all right. So you had the business background, you had the drive, and you helped thousands of people, men and women, just now with what you said. You had an epiphany in your 30s, had an epiphany and said, wait, I can keep on this mode and become uber successful, or I can take a beat and do it and be successful another way and have family. I was interviewing a comedian actor named Rick Younger yesterday, and same scenario of we talked about how a lot of people talk about entertainment and stuff like that. You see people, I'm so busy and I lost my family, versus the people you hear say, I'm so busy doing this, but it helped me gain my family. That's a powerful thing. That's a powerful plug for new age, our new millennium, new age entrepreneurism. We're doing it to be closer to our family. But a lot of people who started businesses before, like, it was like they lost their family. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is a key time. I don't usually date the shows, but for those that are watching this at a later date, it's April 2020. So this part in history, you'll realize that the world stood still as us entrepreneurs to do stuff online just kept going. So, unstoppable.
Right. I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, when at 15 years ago, when I, started, I experienced that moment, and I watched this interview with Steve Jobs. And I think the interview was I was like in 2003. And Steve Jobs said, look at the trends. Business is going to move online. Companies will be able to communicate, will be able to sell things to each other without even living in the same area. Business is going to change. And he said, those of you that are ahead of the curve, that see it now, will actually be able to stand the test of time. The others that are still being like good old boy businesses, right? Or just sticking with brick and mortar and not even considering the idea of bringing your business online. But this is the thing, even back then though, Troy, there was no social media. So I watched this interview and I'm like, all right, so I don't want to put my kid in daycare. I'm a big corporate executive. What could I do? Like, what could I really do? So I started looking at leveraging like my skills, which was I was in sales, pharmaceutical sales, and I had to be a brand. Like, I actually had to stand out, because think about like trying to get through, they call them the gatekeeper, right? When you're trying to go see these doctors, you've got the women at the front gates, and I'm trying to get in there, talk to them about all these new amazing products I've got. So I had to do all kinds of crazy stuff to get recognized, right? And I mean, seriously, if you see some of the corporate pictures, I would wear, like, during the golf tournaments, I'd wear a total golf set, walk in with my golf hat, my little pants on, walk in. And because I look so funny and cute, they would let me in to talk to these doctors. So when I moved into working online, I was like, okay, this is the deal. If I want to build a business online, I've got to be so unique in the marketplace. And there was no social, right? So I had to do things that people were not doing. And that's how I built my whole company. And this has been now 15 years. I've been exclusively online, sold over $50 million worth of services, products, exclusively online. because I used what I knew in the corporate world. I've started building a brand, becoming unique, and then I've just brought it online. And that's now what we're teaching. I've been teaching this now for the last 15 years, how to really build a brand and communicate like this.
I recently took on a client that I love connecting with people because marketing promotion is my background. I started my email marketing promotion company in '98. So I remember talking to a young guy who had this, the wine guy on Twitter, and it was Gary V. I remember talking to him in late '90s, and I was like, man, it's really cool. I'm kind of into wine, but not that much. And we talked to chat a little bit, and I look at, it's like being a comedian, and I see comedians. We talked about, me and Rick talked about that, and you see comedians, it's like, man, I could have been there. And I look at Gary V like, what did I miss? No, sorry. But the funny thing is, I like what you're going. I want to jump into because we could talk for hours, but I definitely want to get into this 2020 thing because you have some things that people need right now, and because you have the pedigree you have, because you have the experience you have, that we're in such an amazing. We're in the time that this online business in the web was built for. So it was literally built to connect people around the world. And I think now more than ever, it's time for the small, the small business person has that opportunity to do that now. So whereas before they couldn't, just like you were getting meetings with big companies, they couldn't get a meeting with you. They couldn't talk to you. But now.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, right. So now we all have such unbelievable opportunity to be able to connect and communicate. Like when Gary Vee was doing all this work, it was new and revolutionary because all of a sudden he's talking on social and he's doing video. That's what I did early on in my business. I literally just started doing video before there was a video player. There was no YouTube either. I was literally taking, Troy, it's so crazy, videos called Audio Acrobat. I don't even know if you remember Audio Acrobat.
Right. I remember Acrobat.
Audio Acrobat, this is back in 98 or 2000 something, 2002. And I was doing videos and it was like this weird player and I would embed it onto a really flat website. Like everyone else doing pictures and text. I was putting these videos up going, hi, I'm Rhonda. Look, let me help you create a better life for yourself, personal development, because I was selling personal development products when I quit my corporate job. And, now it's like we've got direct connection. Boom, we're communicating and I'm going live in front of thousands of people consistently. Like there's so many more opportunities now than there ever were before.
At the drop of a dime, you can literally from your studio at your residence, you could set up 10, 12 meetings with people from around the world, clients, board meetings, everything, and not leave where you are. And we've been working on that for a while, even before this. But okay, so let's get in this because I know I have a lot of, especially the boom of women entrepreneurs, and you're probably seeing it more than anything. There's a huge boom of women entrepreneurs, especially African-American women entrepreneurs all over the world. And I'm getting more clients along that base. And I was saying one of my clients remembered me from 20 years ago when I was speaking on marketing and promotion in 2000. I had owned a barbershop, but I was going and speaking on marketing. Man, you can market for $0 to $50 a month, 50 for 500 and 500 to 5,000, buying billboards and stuff. So what is the key thing that you see that most of your clients are leaning towards now?
Yeah.
Smaller end clients and in your 7-figure clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this is really great stuff because the market has shifted a lot, right? So let's say, and all of our clients, we were going live. I mean, I created this whole 21-day plan to launch a product online, which still works. It's what I've been able to generate multiple 7 figures from, is launching through live and connection and selling a product. But the shift is changing right now, right? The whole environment and the platform is totally changed, especially with what's taking place. And what I'm seeing, and because I look at trends and I'm always looking at how do I help my clients stay ahead of the curve, right? And so what we noticed, those that were online before are obviously in a little bit stronger position than many others. There's a lot of people entering in the market. What's going to happen is we're creating what's called the water and oil type of landscape, right? So just imagine a bottle. It's got oil and water in it. Shake it up, right? It's like all over the place. You can kind of see the bubbles, and it's cool. And everyone's kind of been like that because they're kind of mixing and mingling. Everything's, kind of moving around. We are getting ready. We're in an era of a complete separation, right? A complete separation, which is the water's rising at the top and the oil's at the bottom. There's a lot of weight that's going to start happening at the bottom. And that means those that were doing all the same stuff before, just going live and doing a general marketing, even Facebook ads. I mean, that oil section, it's going to get real heavy because it's been happening for such a long time. And look at what's going on. We're going to have an influx of people diving online. So when they dive online, what do they first do? What's easiest? Right? What's easiest? I'm going to go live. I can sell a product. I'm going to go live. Right? I'm going to do a webinar. Like everyone has been doing that, that's going to fall into the oil. Now, those that are savvy, my 7-figure, 8-figure clients, we have made a drastic pivot, okay? And we need to take our clients from being in the oil area where everyone's doing the same thing to now repositioning their brand. And how do we do that? Well, we've now started to, Facebook HQ just gave us a really big report. And the report from Facebook was that in order to attract your client in a much more quality way, you actually need to be seen differently. So instead of us, remember Troy, we always say, get testimonials, right? If you got a client you've helped, have them talk about you, like third-party validation. Right. And so now what we're seeing is that those that are now third-party validation, like PR, publications, top-tier publications, being featured in different articles, being on podcasts. This is now where the separation is going to start happening. The client that has a position on their brand, we call it, a sexy brand. That's what I call it, meaning they know exactly what they do, how they do it. They're positioned well online. They have their structures set up. Now, these are the ones that are being featured in, Entrepreneur Magazine, Forbes Magazine. Their expert advice is being shared by very well-known, high-profile publications or people like yourself. Like I'm on your podcast, right? So instead of me being, look, I'm Rhonda on a live, it's now, whoa, Rhonda's on Troy's live. Rhonda's on Troy's podcast. Rhonda's being featured on Forbes magazine. Okay, now the separation is starting to be seen. So that's the pivot that we've made from everyone being a general online business owner marketer to, now you're the one that I need to choose. And that's what's going to happen in the next 3 to 6 months. If clients aren't prepping their branding now and they're repositioning, they're going to fall into the oil and they're not going to rise into the water.
I'm glad you said. I've been telling people I've been dealing with for a while. I was like, get in front of people. Get used to getting in front of people. Like we mentioned about Gary Vee. Gary's great at telling people you're not posting enough, and he's been telling them this for a decade. You're not doing enough online. You're not doing. When I first got really into Facebook in like 2008, about 12 years ago, I started seeing that some of the people who I saw as in the entertainment industry were doing video blogs. So these vlogs were getting great traffic. So I was like, well, let me do that. And that helped me build my Facebook numbers. But to think now, like you said, if you go on Instagram or if we go on Facebook, everybody's home doing a live. They're doing live interviews, stuff like that. But they're not transitioning that stuff into merch, product, and tools like you have.
Yeah.
Curriculums like you have. I'm going to talk to you more about what's the best, because I've been dealing with it for years. I set up this Meet the Show to help promote other people, but initially I set it up to do my webinars. But what's the best platform now for people to do webinars, for people to do their, it's funny. It's changed so much. So So that's key. You said your clients, you're helping them transition to do a different type of engagement that also gives them notoriety with the high validation places like Forbes, or depending what their industry is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's it.
and do you deal with anybody? I mean, because I know with your retreat, and I don't know the next time you're having your retreat, your getaway, but when you do your events, are all of those, most of your retreats and stuff for your 7-figure clients, your 8-figure clients, or do you have anybody on lower levels that you one-on-ones with or anything like that? What would you say to the people who may be the smaller businesses that's like, well, I don't know what I should do?
No, exactly. And so a lot of the retreats are, we work on very specific things. So there's a few things that people can do and that we've been doing for quite some time. That's why most of our clients always just rise to the top much faster, but people can start doing it now. It's, first off, if you want to do lives, make sure that you have a live that has a set. Like you've got a set in the back, you got something they can see. I have an actual set. This is not hard to do, but that's just going to show visible positioning than those that are just sitting in their kitchen with a weird background. Like make yourself look visibly appealing, right? Like a generic brand new person can do that. Look positioned well, because our positioning is everything with your brand. How you're seen, how you show up is how people look at you, right? So that's one. Second is the type of platforms. I still, using Facebook Lives or webinars are still a really great place because it allows more eyeballs. The difference is that when we're showcasing what we do out to the public, just everyone look at it, you don't have a lot of measurement behind who's showing up, right? Who's showing up, who really wants your offer. So I still do believe that people should be using things like registrations for webinars. You can still use Zoom for registrations for a webinar. Using things like GoToWebinar still is a really quality platform. And we want to make sure that you are having
I got to mention this to people. People may see me looking down. If I'm taking notes, y'all need to be taking notes. Stop just looking at the screen. Go on, get a pad or something. Go and take some notes for this. If you see me like,
yeah, right. It's true, because remember, measurements are everything. So before we were doing lives, and that lives are great for connection. Like get out there, be in front of them, share, value, right? Like Gary Vee calls it jab, right hook. I call it VVO, value, offer. You've got to give people so much value in order to make that offer. But the difference is the amount of people now that can go live, like spread it, is everywhere. So if you're not looking different, right, then you're looking like everyone else, and chances are they're going to pop in and pop out. So you now have to have a strategy that says, this is what I'm doing today. This is what my offer is. Give them lots of value, then invite them to register so that you've got the measurements. Now, we were doing this a long time ago, with all of our webinars, and then people just stopped wanting to register, right? They wanted to see the lives. But what happened is we were making offers, which was great, but then it got so diluted because you couldn't follow through with them. You didn't have a cart abandonment email. You didn't have all these things, right? So now we're going back to making sure you register for something that people see the innovation in your brand, meaning you've got funnels, like ClickFunnels, one of our favorite. You've got to show up. Your brand has got to look like you're innovating.
I was just about to ask you about the funnels, how effective that was when you're doing your lives and your VBO.
Yeah. Like for instance, when people come to a place where they can register all of your information and they can see it, and then you walk them through. We started using sales funnels over 10 years ago, before funnels were cool. We were building them because what we realized is this. Think about, you're on Facebook, right? And the amount of stuff that's still on Facebook, there's ads, there's all kinds of other people scrolling, so much noise. So our whole objective is, what we're doing right now, we are buying attention. That's it. We are competing for attention right now. So if I can take someone from look at that video from Rhonda, because it's quality, that's another thing, high quality video. Any new business owner can create a higher quality video than just a generic armbar style video. If you can create like we create at our retreats brand films. So we're telling the brand story for our clients that positions them much higher than them telling the story. There's an actual asset, which is a branding film that tells your whole brand story for you. So that's what people are scrolling for now. It's called thumb stop content, right? We're thumb stopping, boom, there's some quality, I'm gonna stop my thumb on it. So my objective is now is thumb stopper, high quality thumb stopper content. Boom, get them off of that platform and get them into your world, right? Because that's what a funnel does. The moment they tap out of Facebook, you got it. Blinders are on. They're sitting in my funnel. They got my opt-in page. I'm going to give you, like, I've got a new 2020 brand report, right? And this is a new book that I'm giving away. They get to UBA links and they're like, dang, okay, I'm clicking on that. They're in my world right now. All my offers is just my stuff. So that's why funnels are so effective, because then we can also measure how many eyeballs, how many touches. We can measure how many went to the next page. So that's why funnels are the absolute requirement if you want to be innovative in the new world and float to the water. So you're in the clean water. You're not dragging through the oil.
Right.
And using funnels and quality positioned content.
Now, what was the webinar piece you mentioned before that you said that you like it, it's still effective?
Yeah, well, you can create your own webinar funnels in ClickFunnels. We use that. Webinar is awesome. It allows you to actually record what you're doing and then run it on an evergreen, meaning just keeps running when you're not around, not live. And then I also GoToWebinar is one of the tried and true platforms that's been around for about 10, 15 years. Absolute best.
Right.
Webinar Jam is cool too, but it's a little technical for a lot.
So, okay. So I don't know if you mentioned it. The 2020 piece, the 2020 package that you're doing now, what's the main thing that you're pushing? And it's a weird dispensation of time right now. It's a weird period of time we're in, because I feel like the things we can push now for those that are, and I've been preaching engagement for the end of last year, fall into this year, engagement, stay in front of people for new clients and new people that, I don't know about the Instagram thing. Look, Instagram is your GQ ad, your GQ magazine ad. You wanted to fall out. Oh, I do like this cologne. Oh, I do like that suit. You wanted to be in front, just stay in front of people. And then, 2 clips in a video a day, 3 a day. So, but right now is such an amazing time. And I think some people are scared, like, if people could focus on how many people actually have money to invest in the things, their self-improvement, their education, and they want to buy something versus saying, oh my God, the economy is terrible. No, it's when everything is at a standstill, everything is at a standstill. And the people who have money still have money. So what are you offering them? What's your major, I guess the major thing that you're saying right now? Because I don't know, a lot of people are like, oh, it could be a couple months, it could be this, that, and that. But yeah, that's not the scariest part. The scary part is, what if all this ends next week? What did you accomplish? You have to jump back into work mode. What did you accomplish?
Yeah, that's it. And that's why, we are our business has not stopped at all. In fact, it's thriving because when you're looking at, we run a branding agency. So we're looking at how can I help my clients not only stay in front, so they're doing that activity side of it, like you said, engagement stuff, but how do I showcase and get them elevated? And what we're doing really is heavily focusing on PR and media, getting our clients on top tier publications like Forbes, Entrepreneur, Inc., right? So that they're like, wow, hey, I'm in, Forbes. I may not be selling something to their clients right now, but take a look, I've been in Forbes. Boom, they're like, okay, they are definitely my person. I know that I need to work with them, whether it's now or later. So we're maintaining their position in the marketplace. So we're really focusing on publications. I mean, Entrepreneur and Forbes, they went from 79 million people picking up their magazine to now over 170 million eyeballs on their online website. So they're asking us to publish about 1,200 articles a day with top tier expert clients that are in like a certain niche that they can give some advice to, because the world wants more real content, and they can get it live, but make it feel very highly credible if they're reading it off of a Forbes
All right.
website or off of Entrepreneur. So that's where we've been focusing heavily on. We pivoted directly, mainly towards PR and media, getting our clients on podcasts as well that have big audiences, so that now they're using this time to showcase their audience, who they are, not them just talking to their audience. It's them being seen by their audience through another credible source.
Ladies and gentlemen, she is the unstoppable mama. Looking wonderful. I could talk to you for I could suck it all up. Just like if I had a straw and,
Good again.
So, Rhonda, how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, I'm easy to find, certainly on social media. You can look on Unstoppable Mama, or of course my name. But I have a really special site that's called UBA Link, so UBA like our company, and it's got all my stuff on there. It's got like my free book that I just gave away. It showcases how people can get featured on Forbes and on Entrepreneur Magazine. It's got a lot of my free giveaways. So I put a really cool way for people just to find out everything that we're up to, and a simple spot to go to. So UBA Links, LINKS, and that'll connect you even to my socials as well.
I love it. Hey, thank you for taking time out. I'm the one. It's evening here, but it's gorgeous there. I really want her to open up her curtains so you can see the ocean. But that's something I did want to. No. Yeah, you good. If you can take me, take me.
We're in a real.
I'll go with you.
Let's do it. All right, you guys are in my studio right there, right? All right, here we go. Oh,
look at this, y'all. Come on now. How can you not? Do you do the retreat there, or do you have another location?
We do it in a lot of different spots, like large, big, beautiful villas. But we'll be having one in 2021 here. After all this stuff sorts through, I think we'll be doing our 2021 probably in March or April of 2021. And it's a 7-bedroom villa right off the edge of the ocean. And we film here. We do branding films. We do all complete photo shoots. And we really help elevate our clients' brand positioning. We do it all in 5 days retreat, and it's a lot of fun.
Now, did you, and I'll let you go after this. Yeah, right. Now, did you do that on purpose? Because I was just talking to somebody about how Tony Robbins, when he invested in Fiji and taking his retreats and everything there, did y'all do that on purpose?
But here, coming to Bali or doing retreats in like a big villa?
No, was it a business move as well as just a getaway move?
Well, we've been doing retreats now for the last 12 years, and they're always in different locations. So everywhere we would move to, we would create and have a retreat. I typically go to Orlando one time a year at the end of the year in September. So we were always doing Orlando, and then we're like, well, let's do one in Bali. And then now we've been here for 5 years. So we were always able to bring our clients all over the world. And so it just kind of worked out. And of course, the Unstoppable Surfer wants to always surf. So we're always in surf locations.
He's like, there's always a tide. He's like, where are you going? He's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tell him Point Break's one of my favorite movies. All right. That's not.
Yeah, right. We watched it with Hanalei the other day. It was hilarious.
She was like, that's the guy from Matrix. He was like, what?
Yeah, exactly. So,
right.
Troy, really, it's a pleasure for having me here. I'm really happy to contribute. I'd love to have you also on the Help Me Rhonda show as well. So we'll have to set that one up.
By all means. Anything I can do, I appreciate you. And you guys have to go and check out Rhonda Swan. Her links are in the link below. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You find she's always live, probably hours that you don't know. Go back and watch some of her old footage. See her and her family, and just amazing. I appreciate what you're doing, and I love it. We got to talk again soon.
We will. Thanks, my man. Have a great one, everyone. I always leave this. If you're going to create a brand, create a sexy brand, and if you're going to be anything, be unstoppable.
That's right. Peace. Thanks so much, Rhonda.
Brand awareness is key in today's modern digital era. And with the rapid growth of social media platforms and the simplicity for all brands to compete on the same playing field, business owners have to start getting creative with how their brand message reaches their clients and customers. Hi, I'm Rhonda Swan, the CEO and founder of the Unstoppable Branding Agency and the Sexy Brand Building Formula programs, where we help our clients create a sexy brand through strategic brand marketing, image, and film. I believe every small business owner deserves to stand out in a sea of marketing messages and make their competition irrelevant with the right brand image, brand message, and strategy. If your brand and marketing is well thought out, but design and images look terrible, no one will take your business seriously. If your design is beautiful, but your marketing message isn't planned out so strategically, it will fall flat on its face. That's where our team comes in. We help our clients restructure their brand image with photo shoots and create a winning combination of strategic brand building through impeccable design and great storytelling through film. The world of business has changed. Because of social media, customers and clients are looking for transparency and connection. A business owner can no longer hide behind a website or rely on their services to attract the perfect client. They want realness, and they want to see the truth behind the brand. As you can tell, we do things differently. And if that excites you, I want to invite you to book a consultation or join us at our upcoming VIP branding retreat and let us help you turn your brand into a sexy, profit-making machine.